Hey dude, I literally just woke up. My brain is like dead. I probably shouldn't have even logged on, but I'll do it anyway. Cause screw it, man. Why not? Oh man, why do they have to make it so early? It's like 7 AM, man. Fuck. If I get there and it's already over, I'm gonna be like, ugh. Yeah, but for the Americans, it's a great time. Oh no, fuck off, wolves. I'm not dealing with you. I don't want to deal with you. Why did they have to put this in the middle of nowhere, man? Why couldn't we just do this in town somewhere? My horse is gassed. Oh god, piss off, man. I'm not dealing with you. Not having it, mate. Oh god.
If it's an active situation, let Transit Authority take lead on it. But if it leaves a train and it expands off the train, that's when the Sheriff's Department steps in.
Exactly.
Okay, Minette, anything from you? Appreciate you're not a senior. You've elevated. But if there's anything you feel like you want to bring forward to the seniors now over here, or chalk up notes from what I can make here that we want to address, we can go from there. Try and keep your undershare frustrations away from this meeting, please.
We'll take them the next time. But no, I've said what I wanted to say. I'm all good.
So I'll go next then. My biggest thing as seniors, we need to be beacons on using the goddamn tip line. it can be real frustrating when you have 18, 20 people on duty and you don't know where more than 4 or 5 people are or what they're doing. Last night was a great example of we managed to account for everybody but one group of deputies, and turns out that they were in a bad situation. So we were able to deduce that because everybody else was using the tip line. You know, if you're in a hunting party and you find some group and you're chasing after them and you're shooting at them for a while, well, you're not going to stop mid-fight to send a tip, of course, but if you're in a hunting party and you pass a tip telegram station, just send a tip, let us update. It's the strangest thing when you think there's a group out west and all of a sudden you run into them in Saint Denis and you had no idea they were in the east. So, you know, use a tip line. Be an example to the deputies to use a tip line. You don't need to send a million tips, but an update, I don't know, once per hour, maybe every half hour even, depending on, you know, it can go a long way. Another thing I see, and I don't think this is as much a problem amongst seniors, but I do see this rotating out fresh bodies. I've seen a number of times where it's kind of the same group running from emergency to emergency, unrelated emergency, and then you got 4 or 5 people just sitting around, you know, trying to make do when they could easily have swapped in a few times here or there. So being an example, let folks, you know, let somebody who's just clocking on duty replace someone who's, you know, been in their 4th shootout for the day. And even if they want to go to their 5th shootout, you know, encourage people to let others have a little bit of the excitement, as it were, is good practice. I think that's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great point. Just to piggyback off the back of that, folks. It goes both ways. If naturally you're in a hunting party and you're riding, say, towards Blackwater, and all of a sudden there's somebody else forming up this party and they've jumped in and replaced the numbers, maybe where you've ran to telegrams quickly, you obviously maintain within that at the same time. If you've been on duty for a while, you're thinking, I'm shot, I'm beaten up, I've just ran half the length of the crossing. Get fresh eyes in. Really important. I know they're very big on that for us here. We've got a big department. It's okay to step away. I'd like to think everybody here would step away to allow our deputies to move forward. That is their job. That is their role. So just like we've had mentioned just there, that was a really, really good point. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. Sax.
I actually wrote something for this. I'm going to get my notebook out. All right. I, for one, want to see the department act more as one. In the department, we should be striving to make others' time and experience positive, not negative. Things that can be talked out should be. We should be more of a unit rather than split behind reports and complaints on each other. Just because some deputies might do or handle certain situations differently to how you would, doesn't mean that it's the wrong way or warrant enough importance to make a report about it. If you have an opinion on how they work, speak to them. Try to discuss and talk with them. Gain an understanding of how your fellow deputies work. From this, you might discover that their way of working, although different from yours, works and benefits in its own way. People work in a variety of ways whilst all following the same guidelines. Only when it falls out of our guidelines is when we should be bringing this critical feedback to these deputies. People then won't feel constantly criticized and not want to clock on duty. Morale won't become damaged, and in turn numbers in the department falter, and ultimately everybody is punished, leaving more workload for the few. I just want to touch on what Dan was saying.
Well written. Great points too. And again, what I recommend we do, just like Sax mentioned just here, any good points that you hear or mention from all of the individuals that we have around us, cherry pick what you want to change in your role, what you do differently, maybe the attitude you possess. You know, listen to how Sax said things there and think about points that you take on board and make it your own. So, really good point there, Sax. Thank you very much. Clem?
I would say my only feedback for the team is we, as a senior department, are a team, and that goes for sheriffs and undersheriffs and seniors. So if you've got a complaint about another senior deputy or whoever else, just try to make sure that when you express those frustrations, because we're all human, I get it, but we're doing it in a professional manner and we're not doing it in front of a group of deputies and things like that, because we're all leaders and people are going to look to us as the example of how to act and behave. So if I complain about Dan, for example, and I say, "Ugh, Lynn is so annoying today," people that look up to me are going to then... Sorry, I picked on you, Dan. I don't know why I did that. But everybody...
Today, I feel like you probably won't be the last.
But then, say if I'm hanging out with Stone and 3 other deputies, and then all those
Lynn,
deputies
man.
think that they can talk shit about Dan too, just because I'm frustrated with him. Just remember that we're a team and we're humans and we all make mistakes. But otherwise, I've been feeling, confident since coming back, and it is thanks to this team that we have here. So, thank you all for having me, and that's all I gotta say.
Old timer.
I guess it's a slightly different viewpoint for me. Probably the only thing I'll grumble about most is that sometimes the day shift seems like it's a bit of a dumping ground. I can wake up and I feel like I'm clearing up a lot of mess from the night before. Whether that's riding out across the state just to pick up evidence that somebody was too tired to deal with, or clearing out a tip line that's being left to overflow overnight. I think we need to be aware of what happens after we clock off and before we clock on, just as much as we do our own shifts.
All right. Yeah, very, very good point. I think we're all guilty of it. Granted, shit can go south real quick. Going to get the people who do pick up these smaller details, which are monumental, so we can all continue doing all of our jobs. Just like Stone says, very, very good point. Let's tidy your desks up and whatnot, as they say, before you leave the office. It's important that this office, when somebody else comes in and replaces your desk, they know what to pick up from. Same with your case files. Try and leave them as best as possible in a working manner. So if I come along and say Stone's worked on a file, I should be able to pick up Stone's file and say, right, I know where he got to, I know what he's doing. Okay, shit, well, these people that he's talking about have just done this, I'll add this to his file. Things like that. Or just be conscious of what's going on after you too. Appreciate we're all tired, we want to dive into bed or run back to your loved ones or whatever you're doing. Just take a moment. The smaller details on the tip line, whether it's just some evidence collection, is part of our jobs. I know gunfights can be exciting, exhilarating, and maybe you want to be part of the ones that bring down the big gangs. As seniors, make sure we're leading that charge and saying, right, no, I'm taking this small party. We're going to go to the farthest reaches of the Sierra Coronado because we found a bullet out there with a bit of blood on it. We're going all the way as well and motivate them to do so. Thank you, Stone.
Before you move on, I want to add on Stone's point. If you're one of those people who feels like you're always doing the bitch work or whatever you might describe it as, where you're doing these things that nobody else notices and, you're getting tired of it, just sometimes, while it is everybody's responsibility to make sure those things get done and they are important to the smooth operation of the department as a whole, you don't always have to be the person to do it. Don't sacrifice your entire energy, because we need you for a lot more than just some of those things. Sometimes other people will step in to fill in those gaps. If people don't even know you're doing it, they just see that it's happening. They have no clue whose responsibility it is. They just see that it happens. That nobody's ever going to learn either, right? So, yeah, don't always take those things on yourself if you're getting burned out, so to speak.
All right, couple.
Just a quick one. If we're jumping back on the topic of training new deputies, I know this has been on the bulletin board before, but let's make double sure we actually walk new deputies through the paperwork and how to do it. I have seen too many files get left at a work in progress for too long because people don't really know what they need to be doing. There are files that just don't have enough information. I've had to question people before with barely finished files. It is very difficult when you don't know the context of anything that happened. So don't be afraid of that. And if you feel like you need to brush up on that, you know, there is now a paperwork certification. Hint, hint. You know, come to me if you feel like you want to get a little better at that. Me, Jones, Slaughter, and Ryan. So, we're all happy to help with that.
I'll be inclined to encourage every deputy to pursue that personally.
So the biggest thing that I've noticed is mainly, especially from what I've heard from people that are just new deputized, um, making sure that, you know, you're checking in on them and making sure they're okay in regards to, you know, getting acclimated even after they get deputized. I've noticed a lot. I remember when I first joined the department, there was a lot more of that happening, and I feel like as the months have progressed, there's kind of been a lot less like that. So, you know, just checking in, at least, you know, walking them through things, asking them questions in regards to that, and not even just only that training too as well, but just training as a whole to keep our skills sharp is also really important. Making sure that it's adapting to, you know, the you know, new techniques and new things that criminals do. Like, people aren't static forever, you know. So, you know, if anyone has a good idea when it comes to, you know, trainings or, you know, things that we could be doing in order to, you know, apprehend people better, stuff like that, I think would really, really help a lot in that regard. And my second point too, I wanted to bring up is um, also just civilian interactions too as well. You know, like, we're not better than them, and I think it's important to also realize that too. Um, we're here to help them, and I think that I would really love to see a lot more of that happen too as well.
Okay, perfect. Yep, great points. Civilian interaction's a big one, folks. I know sometimes you're thinking, I really don't want to go and talk to the people in the saloon because maybe it's intimidating. I don't want to interrupt. You know, go and show faces. You're going to meet new people. Who knows? You might fall in love if you're crazy enough. Brady?
Already touched across, which is the hunting parties and patrols when it's quiet. There was a few weeks there where we had patrols going pretty much every single week, whether there was something on the tip line or not. We were picking people off from the wanted list. I feel like that slowed down a bit, so it's a case of just getting it back up and running again. The other thing, big pet peeve of mine, is after a bank robbery, we lose the suspects, we get back to town, and we kind of give up the search. I think that's the perfect time to gather your thoughts, resupply, get back out there. They're still out there, we gotta look for them. We can't just stay static in town and disband and stop doing work. Something that Teddy actually brought up with me as well when he was still here. That was his big point, was we were far too static as a department. We would just stop and we wouldn't search any further.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, real good points. I know we've shared some conversations on that matter. Like Brady mentions, if the bank robbery's closed off, we've got dossiers, right? We got some very experienced people who have spent time making dossiers. Let's keep them up to date. Let our, give the deputies some work to do. You know, these dossiers, if we know that, say, I don't know, Kettlemans have just hit a bank, granted, we probably all know where they reside, but if it's quiet, nothing's going on, get a party together, get out there, go and find them. You know, if we can bring those people in, think about everybody, we can say, hey, you know those people that threatened you yesterday? They said they were going to come for your loved ones. Guess what? They've gone away now. You can sleep a bit easier tonight. You're going to be okay. If we can have more conversations like that, because we're being proactive and getting out there and utilizing this information we have to go and capture these gangs, especially when it's quiet, get out there, do things. Oh, great points. Who have we got next? Mallagher?
Yeah, look, I ain't going to raise too much that ain't already been raised. I think Frank over there summed it up quite perfectly, but what I will say is, you know, being a strong speaker is all well and dandy. Everyone here are strong speakers. I think being just as good of a listener is very important too. So what I think we should be doing is just actively listening to each other more, making sure we can all rely on each other to lean on. And what else was I going to bring up? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I think I don't really need to raise much more than that, honestly. Let's just make sure we're facilitating each other's working styles, because I think what makes the department is the fact that we all have a different set of styles and different way of approaching things. And just because someone else is doing something a certain way doesn't mean it's wrong. I think we just need to facilitate each other's styles more. That's about it.
Okay, perfect. I'll chalk that up in your comments here. Andrew?
The only thing that I need to have brought up is if you have a complaint against another senior, not all complaints need to go to an undersheriff. Pull them aside, talk to them about it. We don't need to overload the undersheriffs and sheriffs in regards to things against each other. Talk to them. Talk to someone. Pull them aside. Express your feelings about the matter. And
Senior
maybe you'll
deputy
learn
meeting.
something that
I
they
shouldn't be
knew
on
that
this
we
early,
didn't
man.
know at the time. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, very good point. Very important to remember. 9 times out of 10, you come to a sheriff and say, hey, I've got a problem with this person. The first response you're probably going to get is, have you spoke to a senior about it? If it's a no, it's why. And secondly,
Yeah.
you spoke to the individual? No, why? Every issue is normally quashed and quelled away and put to bed by just speaking to the individual if you have a problem. 9 times out of 10, too, you're probably going to be enlightened and think, shit, I didn't even think about the way they were thinking. I understand why they said that now. Again, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to find a new best friend. Granted, you don't get on, then you can escalate it. Maybe you just don't work with each other. So be it. But, you know, the relationships in the department, as Andrew mentioned, it is great. But ultimately, we have a job to do. You know, people call it like a family and whatnot. And granted, we got a lot of close people amongst us all. We're here to do a job. You know, your family's on the outside as much as, you know, we have very close to one another. It's important that we have these conversations and communicate. Very, very good point. Nadia?
I don't have much. Just regarding the Rangers, if you have a cadet that maybe struggles with their navigational skills,
I was struggling to speak then. My
or
brain was just
in
so
general,
freaking tired, man.
riding, the Rangers have offered to take cadets and take them on patrols or search and rescues to kind of get them acquainted with certain areas. They also offer trainings for specific regions. If you or another deputy struggles with navigating in that area, they are available. Just send a tip and see if anyone's available. If you see there's a bunch of Rangers on duty, they might be organizing a patrol. Take a cadet over and ask if they can join them. It's extremely helpful, and they're happy to do it. And also just remember, if you ever need anything from them, ask first. If they're available, they're happy to help, but they need to be fully prepared, and you have to fully inform them of everything you're doing. Don't leave them with half-ass information.
All right, I guess my turn. I have 2 points here. One's actually more of a question and clarification for the rest of the senior team as well. I'll start off by just reinforcing what everyone else here
wicked.
has said. I'm just saying that
I don't know how I'm
communication has been a
awake,
very
man.
big issue lately, especially when it comes down to feedback. We need to be taking the initiative as a senior team to make sure we are relaying everything and going to people and telling them what they need to work on. You know, if you just put it on a file and then not go back to it, they're never gonna know what to work on. So we as a senior team, we need to be the leaders and take that initiative. Secondly, is more of a clarification regarding Van Horn and also Fort Mercer. I know there was once a directive about a year back when Den Gang was at its height that only undersheriffs could lead a party out there. Has that since changed or been updated?
I can field this one for at least in my
Yeah,
knowledge.
this is our crew.
It probably comes down to a bit of your common sense side of stuff. Now, if it's a highly wanted party or a most wanted, and you want to take more than 6, yes, you will need to follow the whatever they've said in terms of taking another sheriff or a sheriff with you. If it's a case of you've got an outlaw that you know is wanted, I would expect any deputy senior deputy to lead some form of attempt to apprehend where possible. I don't think you always need to utilize this 8 or 10. There was a time where this did not exist. We would go out just fine and deal with these folk just fine. Obviously, Van Horn.
There's been a lot of things brewing that need to be addressed.
Yes, they are dangerous
so I'm glad
places.
this is
you
happening.
need to give them weight. You need to understand what you're about to do could get your deputies shot. Granted, you could say that for nearly any situation you're going into, but as I'm sure you can appreciate, there's probably a little bit more diligence and care you gotta share when you're going into these places. But no, if you let's say you've got Archie in from Van Horn and you feel like you've got an opportunity to get him, whether that's going and knocking on the door of Van Horn and saying, right, you want it, by all means you can try it. But don't just go running in there and gunning down and thinking I'm going to take over Van Horn by this party of 6. You know, be smart about it. It probably takes a bit more tactics, a little bit more strategy to do so. Just going in quite mindlessly to places like Fort Mercer, unless you've got an experienced team doing it, can be a damn hard fight. So take a look around your deputies you've got. Think about your leadership that maybe you're about to bring into. Do I have enough knowledge here? I personally would have no problem with it. Encourage deputies to go out and make a hunting party, and seniors to make a hunting party for these people. They need to be brought in. You know, if every undersheriff here gets shot today, or worse, it's over to you guys to pick up the mantle and go for it. So.
Alrighty, thank you. That answers my question then.
Does everybody on the sheriffs and sheriffs agree?
Dude, I saw that. That Wicked. That looks so freaking cool, man.
What it is that, yeah, if you are one of the people leading a group like that into somewhere like that, if I ask you about it later, I just want you to be able to explain to me what your thought process was in the moment and why you made that decision. If you've made those considerations and you have that, you know, you came to the conclusion that the best thing to do is to go in there, that's fine. I have no issues with that personally. And I would argue with you, or sorry, like, argue in your favor.
I'm keen to see the finished product, man.
As long as
it looks
those
so good.
Considerations were had, and it wasn't just a mindless.
Why'd they have to have this meeting at 7 AM, man? It's like 7 for me. I'm so tired.
Alright, well, that's all for me.
All right, Leon.
Thing that I could have talked about has been touched upon already, so I'm good.
Okay. Fletcher, is there anything you want to add to this meeting going forward? Anything you want to bring forward? Did you want to mention any best practices maybe from your department?
Ooh, best practices. The more we know, the more we can help. If we know what's going on, if we know the situation out west, if we know you're leading a hunting party, I guarantee you the medic will see that tip and go, ooh, and they will go and stage, ideally in the closest possible area. I will say some medics, obviously, will get closer than others. I myself, depending on who I'm with, if I'm alone, I tend to get a little closer to the problem. If I hear you're all out at Fort Mercer, I'll be in Armadillo. Some might be in Blackwater, but they all will be keeping you updated. The more we trade information, the more information that we have in the highway, as it were, the more we can keep doing. And on that note, some of the absolutely beautiful telegrams letting us know about the injured and multiple down situations have been coming in, and I want to.
I lowered my
thank you for
microphone
that.
a bit.
But I will say, just keep on.
Hopefully.
That. Obviously, if the medical will try to arrive within 15 20 minutes,
So
and
my microphone
we
sound a bit lower now.
received tips telling us there's 8, 10 people down. Now, I love it when you're all getting up and about and moving by the time I'm there, but it also can sometimes, during busy nights, I have to toss a coin to respond to your multiple down or someone
now is
injured
law.
on the other side of the crossing.
I wish I have time to...
And it can be a little bit of a waste of resources to arrive and find out everyone's
Law's
been
fun.
treated.
I recommend...
If you
I always
get
recommend
in a situation, everyone's back in town, and
having
it's
one
crazy,
crim
feel
character
free
and
to
one
just
law
let us
character. That way
know
you get the best
that
of both worlds.
Everyone's all right. Don't worry coming down. Local doctors took care of it. Someone's got a serious injury, 15, 20 minutes. If we're not there by then, we're either on our way or we're not
Which
going to be
sucks
there.
because
Grab
I'm
the local
a
doctor.
crim at
Just
heart and
tell
miss
us when we
crimming
get
so
there,
bad.
send him
Yeah,
an
Kaz,
update
you are a
tip,
crim at
and
you are a crim at
will
heart,
get
man.
A nice warm
You are a
smile
crim.
from the medics, and we'll all be happily chatting about you behind your back.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Fletcher. Tims?
Hi everyone. So I've got a few things. First, we talk about a lot about providing negative feedback, I think we all understand when we see an issue talking to the person. Also, let's make sure we're providing positive feedback. Let's make sure we're reinforcing those good behaviors, and that should be across the board, regardless of the rank of the person, right? If you see a deputy who's doing a great job on their paperwork, pull them aside, let them know, hey, I see your paperwork looks phenomenal. Have you thought about going and getting that certification? Doing those things is going to reinforce great behaviors, and it's going to make that a stronger deputy. If we're only providing negative feedback, people are going to think that they're only doing negative things. So let's make sure we balance that out with some positive feedback as well.
Eagle Eye, thank you for the follow, mate.
Speaking
Appreciate
of something that was mentioned before, when dealing with civilians, especially civilians, but you know, when we're leading hunting parties, we're going to be riding up on people pretty quickly. We are 6 well-armed individuals coming up quick. You're making people nervous? Introduce yourself. Say who you are. Hey, Senior Deputy Augustine Timms, sorry to interrupt your day. We're out here looking for some folks. Have you seen blank? Taking that moment to introduce yourself.
The outlaw is
going to
stressful
help
if
put
you're
that
heavily
person
wanted
at
or your
ease.
character is in danger from other gangs.
Because they just see 6 people riding up on them real quick. And they're going to get nervous thinking they're either about to get robbed, kidnapped, shot, whatever. Introducing yourself. Don't just ride up and go, Saints Cross Sheriff's Department. Just be a person. Treat them like a person. They deserve that respect. They're out there just living their lives. Just respect that. Moonshine and small tips, like rustling and whatnot, they are important. Please go look at them when you can. A lot of times those can get missed. And my final thing is, Sand, I will go get ice cream with you whenever you want.
If I just may add on to what Tim said regarding moonshine, even if you don't find anything, it's still a good opportunity to go out on patrol. It's still a good opportunity to get out of the office, be proactive, maybe go talk to some people that you might find out hunting or working at a ranch or something. You know, it's not just about finding the shine or the whoever's, you know, transporting gold bars or whatnot. It's about just showing presence, showing that you're out there.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on something that Tim said there about civilians. I remember when I did my certain pursuit certification, when we were out hunting for McGregor, the big bad guy. We actually stopped and talked to civilians in a nice manner, and they're more open to talk to you if you introduce yourself in a nice
Yeah,
manner.
I can, Kaz.
They ain't too, you know, timid because you've come across threatening or as scary, like. So, just to reinforce what Tim's was saying, it helps when you're searching and pursuing gangs too.
Also to piggyback on then what Sax and Tim said, you know, I'm a senior deputy at Tumbleweed. Most people think of Tumbleweed and they roll their eyes, but just getting to know the folks that I encounter running around Tumbleweed, I actually was able to connect some dots on some cases, at least, you know that some folks that have some investigations in them are actually living in my back door of my town there. So, you know, getting to know folk, talking to folk, being friendly to folk, let them get to know your name and shit can help a great deal in our work.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, great points. Yeah, I'll take some ice cream with you too, Sims, when that time comes around. When you finally come on my shift and stop avoiding me. As for the other points, yeah, really important, guys. Really important that we speak to these civilians. Be polite, be respectful. You know, 9 times out of 10, they're quite happy to see us. You know, they might even say, "Oh, you're this individual. I've heard about you." And one of the points that I was going to jump back to about the positive feedback sort of stuff. I can't tell you how elated you will make somebody feel when I've gone up to somebody and say, "Hey, just want to let you know that, you know, people are looking at you and they're really impressed with what you're doing." You know, it's that little feeling that you get where you think, "Fuck, you know, that was really nice." You know, we're so quick to say that was shit rather than, "Hey, that was really good." You know, just reinforce, and that goes back to the point that Sadie made about the attitude. Keep people motivated, keep them happy. So some great points coming up there, folks. Thank you. And Walker.
Yeah, there ain't really much to be said anymore that hasn't already been said by people more intelligent than me, but if I have to add anything,
Senior deputy meeting.
Don't be a goddamn pansy.
If you're interested in the direction law is going, this is the stream for you.
Stop people from hurting people, that's about it.
Yeah, it's a senior deputy meeting here.
All Yeah, good point to make. I have to say this to people too. Is doing something is better than doing nothing. Just get out there and do something. Try and make a difference. That's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
Get out there, find people, go look.
Misfits.
Worst case, you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Hopefully lives ain't cost in that line of mistake.
Dude, it's like they started this meeting.
Take a bit of a risk to get the job done. As long as it falls within your jurisdiction as a deputy, you're still staying on the rights of the law. It's got good purpose, like Lynn mentioned. It makes sense why you did it. I'd say go after it. Great point. Okay, is any of the under sheriffs or fine sheriffs that we've got here want to bring any more points up to the floor?
They started this meeting at like 7 a.m. my time,
been mentioned
and I showed up like so tired, man. My brain is just mush right now, but I'm here.
The last thing from me is that you're never too smart or too experienced to learn something from somebody else. So just, go with an open mind to what other people are saying. I already mentioned this earlier, but listen to other people. It goes a long way.
Okay. I guess the final thing that I want to kind of like to bring up for everybody is just obviously these are quite important. I think it's important for all of you to come forward and be able to voice how you're feeling. Maybe bring up points that other senior deputies might not think about. Shared knowledge and whatnot. Throw it all into the fire in the middle, and we can all cherry pick what we want to change with our jobs and our day-to-day lives in the department. Is this something that I'm fairly confident you'll probably all want more of, maybe once every other month or once a month maybe, if you feel like you want to do this more often?
Also, I just want to clarify the reason why this stream is titled Better Late Than Never is because Terry showed up late.
For as long as I'm going to be here. Just try and give you a line of communication. It's important that for me personally as a sheriff, and I'm sure the undersheriffs and fellow sheriffs will echo, that you are the backbone of our department. I am very grateful for each and every one of you and the folk that can't be here today and the people we have lost. You are very, very important in this department, and I cannot express to you enough how grateful we are for what you do. I know sometimes that from opinions I've heard and feedback I've heard that you feel like you cast aside and left aside. I am sorry that feels that way sometimes, but hopefully we can change that by having talks like this, being more open, taking on the points of communication, being positive, be willing to listen more often like we've shared today. And just little best practices that we can take away from moments like this where we think, you know what, let's make this department a real fucking good one so we are the best department, right? I think I'll be biased enough to say we are the best department. Maybe we ain't, but I'll say it so, because I believe it. I want it to be.
Oh, no, don't take that grown out of context.
No, you went,
Well, we can throw Fletcher in the middle and have him challenge everybody here. If he can beat everybody and walk away, then I guess the medics can be the best department.
They are the best looking department.
Well,
Alright, well, that's a typical deputy flirt, so...
I think I saw it in state paperwork at some point.
So what's the consensus then, folks? You want this once every other month, so like once every 8 weeks or so, where we can kind of collect points, bring things back? I'm not going to get into like specifics of topics and things here. I don't think there's anything too pertinent in the senior files or if like a particular deputy is causing a lot of issues, something that we can handle just on a smaller scale. I don't think it needs to be brought up on a meeting, but we thinking like every other month, every month? What's your thoughts?
I personally think bi-monthly would be a good time frame.
Bi-monthly, absolutely.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, monthly is too often, so...
Okay. So I've got some dirty notes here that I'm going to have to scribble up and do a bit of paperwork. By God, my paperwork.
I love it.
And I'll set a date ready for the next one in like 2 months' time, essentially. We'll get it penciled in. If you can come, great. If you can't, no problem. We can pass it on. I will put all these notes up that I have of each and everybody's points in general kind of consensus points for you all to see. If you can, share conversations with senior deputies that aren't here today. Make sure they're on the same page. Give them that motivation. Help them kind of feel motivated too. So when they're
Next
down
time Redland sees Cook, he's going to think he's talking to Freddy Krueger. Yeah, Cook was...
made some bad calls.
Cook got cooked, man.
They're not feeling too good.
Cook got
be
cooked.
that light for them too. Same for me. If you feel like I'm down in the dumps, which I'd like to think ain't too often, try and pick me up. I'd be more than happy to welcome an ice cream or whatever you've got under your belt.
Isaac
Okay.
Jonesy Dazza Zip and
Perfect.
Bart in the good old days,
I will
man.
Like in
say,
your pockets, not under your belt.
I don't tend to
No.
keep ice cream under my belt.
Notes from this meeting will be posted in the file created of the senior meeting date. It will also be shown in the bulletin board, our senior bulletin board, on where to find these notes. So any seniors that weren't at the meeting, or you guys want to recap on anything, just check there. I will be posting it within a few hours.
Perfect. And there goes my paperwork duties. Thank you, Sadie.
You're
Go off
welcome.
like that.
Oof. Maybe I
once
paid her
again.
before this meeting. Okay. Is there anything we want to discuss here before we adjourn this meeting? Anything at all? This is like an open floor, so if anybody's got a talent they want to suddenly show, or you're welcome to.
Does anyone know how to juggle?
What was that?
Not particularly.
Do you?
No.
I
I
have
think
personal
Digger was
knowledge.
Okay, go ahead.
Intended to see, but yeah, Digger, you go first.
I was just gonna say this crate fucking smells delicious. Whoever put this here,
Thank you.
Just on a personal note, I have worked with you all for a very long time. My 2-year anniversary is actually going to be tomorrow. I will not be present for the next meeting or any subsequent afterwards. I'm going to be retiring by the end of the month, but I just wanted to say that it has been a pleasure to work alongside all of you. Some more than others, regretfully, but it has been an absolute pleasure riding with you, getting to know you, despite the ups and downs. I've seen a lot of people come through this department, lost a lot of people in this department. And Sand is very true when he says that very much not the future of the department, but we are the present. So the best we can do is continue to uphold and do the best we can.
I hope you actually managed to demonstrate how to retire properly.
Yeah, I'm will actually be also leaving the crossing. I am actually moving to New York with 2 people I very much care about deeply, and I am aiming to maybe get out of this DL life. We'll see.
Sad to see you go.
Good for you, on the sheriff.
Congratulations on your well-earned retirement.
Thank you.
No, please make it there.
Yep.
Don't get killed by a rat baby or anything like that. Like Rusan
What?
when you're retired.
I'm sorry.
What the
What?
fuck?
Don't remind me.
Wow.
Also, maybe the rest of you lot consider retiring too. Don't fucking let this job be the death of you too. Just think about it.
Alright, we need to keep some of you.
This job will be the death of me.
Can we also address that everyone here has been promoted in some way? Besides Mitch, because he's been here for a while, have been promoted in one way or another to undersheriff, sheriff, and to senior. So congratulations to everyone while we have this large group.
I mean, I knew Sand when he was a cadet, so I've seen him get promoted from a
Same.
fucking cadet to sheriff. So yeah, good job,
Apparently, I
Sand.
knew Sand as a ranger, but I don't remember.
Wait,
I
Sam
feel
is a
like I
ranger?
knew him when he was in the cradle.
Yeah, probably.
You just made it weird.
Hold on a minute, Stone. All right.
He was too corrupt for the Rangers, so they sent him here.
Oh, Misfits,
All right,
you,
Sam,
you
thank
just
you very much.
You just
Let's
missed
get
me.
onto that conversation before we
You
announce
just-
some things I do not want to talk about.
You just missed me saying Cook got cooked.
I'm innocent. I
Oh,
swear.
doesn't surprise me.
Geez, now I need to go through the archive files.
Don't do
Oh,
it.
no, don't. Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. It's not worth it.
I think everybody's been promoted in some kind of crazy way. I remember did I promote you, Lynn, or to deputy, and I made you dance on the bed?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
What?
It was, you were present there. I think it was, fucking Monroe telling me to go and put my face in the pillow. And then,
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. That does sound. Yeah, no, that sounds like Monroe.
Wow.
When,
Yeah, sounds about right.
when I
Yeah.
did that without actually closing my eyes, then he told me to get up and dance. Because I clearly wasn't understanding what he was telling me to do.
Huh.
Fletcher, are you telling me this is not how promotions
No,
in the Department of Health
no,
go? Oh,
no,
okay.
they don't.
Well,
no.
okay.
tends to be a bit more fanfare.
Yeah, we are the best department.
You guys are boring.
I'm
The hell?
I mean,
don't think
we-
I've ever told a medic to close their eyes and stare into a pillow. So I think we get away with that one.
And you unlock one of the medics.
Special kind of guy,
Or get up and do a dance to be let out of the cell.
I mean, when
Nothing like
Lynn
that.
swore me in, he proceeded to then have a wrestling match with Vargas.
Wow.
Deserved.
Oh no! Coming for Rosenberg when he finds out he blew him up.
Okay.
Dude,
Yeah,
Rosenberg,
look at
Rosenberg is
Jones.
cruising for a
Fletcher.
bruising, man. Cruising for a bruising.
Giving you the odd one out here. Put your clipboard down.
Oh, all right.
You got 3 seconds to run to make it to the ranger tower ahead of you, and anybody that wants to chase you to, I don't know, do whatever they want to you. Since you're the odd one out.
All right.
You got 5 seconds. Go. 5 seconds.
You
You're
better
gonna
go.
be chased.
You better.
Don't get eaten.
Anybody
if
wants to
you're
go and
gonna
get him?
leave
Go.
here.
Go.
I almost got kicked. Red Rat.
Go get
Deputies, go, go, go.
Yeah,
Hey,
Look, Fletcher.
Actually chasing after him though. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody.
Also, I
That's
brought
nice as hell. Let me get a ride back to
take
town.
some.
Yeah, I could.
Alright, if you're
No, is there
gonna
life
put it that way.
Yes, there are.
Let's go. He's going back to
Well,
Saint
that's a
Denis.
wrap.
Where are you two heads?
Please check in through the tip line. Make sure that you made it home
Walls and a
safe.
roof. I really
Thank
don't care.
you.
No.
I'll take your ass to that shack back there.
Better late than never, huh?
I ain't got a roof.
Yeah.
Good meeting you, folks.
Almost didn't
Good
make
work,
it.
Yeah,
everybody.
good.
Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, I ain't feeling too well, so I'm gonna head back and lean my head.
Yeah, probably the same
I'm
with me.
heading towards Blackwater.
Lynn, I will happily follow you to Blackwater.
Yeah.
As soon as we get out of here.
Then we got Jolene with us.
I believe this big dumb son of a bitch ran me down. Along with the joke.
Oh, they're talking about the shootout yesterday.
Yeah, and Whistle, it's the same name. I would have thought you were one of them trying to get a jump on.
I was trying to be inconspicuous.
Hell, I get that, did you?
Yeah,
You were
big
whistling to be in.
I was trying to get his attention.
Dude, yesterday was so good, man.
Let's see.
Lo and behold, I get shot at by him and Chuck.
Just the tension, like the tension of like,
What happened?
will they get caught? Will they die? Will they not die? It's really, really intense, man. I was so ready to break you guys out. Because, we rode around the crossing, like, for half an hour, checking every sheriff's office. Kidnapped the deputy to make him tell us if you'd been arrested, because we weren't sure.
So you gotta learn from him.
What the hell is there to learn?
He said he shot you in the side or the back.
Shot me all over the place.
Oh shit. Yeah, don't get shot then. Learn that.
Just
Oh,
learn.
Oh, I learned it real good. Went that entire fire without catching a single bullet in Christ. Can't say the same for the others. Yeah, shot him good.
Man, I wish Hooper was here.
Man, he has got shot earlier. He's picking up injured.
I hope Hooper's not dead. I don't think he's dead.
Trying to move everyone to the same spot. He's working on him. Check came out of the bush, fanned him down, and then back into the bushes.
I hate these fucking bushwhackers.
So just listen.
Hooper should be sheriff, man, or at least under sheriff.
Take no chances.
Yeah, we cannot be trusting them, essentially. Bohannon surrendered to
Hooper was gonna be here, but I think almost dying played a factor.
But I refused several times. Ultimately, Bohannon was the last one standing.
Oh, they're talking about Bohannon.
They held him at gunpoint, told him to surrender. He did. And then they stood him on the edge of a cliff, talking about how we didn't accept their surrender sooner.
What?
And then shot him off the cliff. He's severely injured. He's got several issues with his legs that require further surgery, and I'm not sure in what state he'll be going forward. But after that, they had this deal with Walker, Cheddar and Walker, rather.
Oh, my horse got ran dead. Oh no. I ran my horse dead. Oh no. Ugh. Where can I get...
Shot me in the back. I wasn't looking.
Wow.
Mallagher, you good?
I just ran my horse almost... I ran my horse dry, trying to get up to the meeting, so I might need to borrow a hay cube or something.
Run us down to buy some.
Here.
Well, that is the most cowardice thing I've ever heard, Masters.
Excellent.
Yeah, so just
Walker.
keep that in mind if you're dealing with them going forward, alright? You can't just blindly trust them. You need to...
Keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
That's bullshit about the surrender. It's like they weren't happy that he surrendered, so they just found an excuse to hurt him.
Yeah. The gunfight we had tonight is the closest they've been to being brought in. It's also the most amount of them that's ever been shot down before, so we left him licking, that's for damn sure.
Oh well, real nasty.
I wouldn't expect to see him again tonight.
No,
I'm not
not
in
at
a
all.
condition to see him anyway.
Nope. You can leave
You
him
good,
here.
Mallagher?
All good, yeah.
Okay. Alright, yeah, if you want to stay here, I'll...
Enjoy your rest. If this horse dies, you buy me another horse.
Alright.
Shut the roads. I'll take care.
Take care, Walk.
Take care,
Yeah, see
Frank.
you around 6.
Yeah. So they threw Bohannon off a cliff.
They stood him on the edge of a cliff, and then Alice shot him.
Well, they
And
shot
fell
him.
down. Yeah.
So I
He,
shot that dumb bitch to shit.
He was there in Blackwater getting surgery yesterday. He never woke up. From what I understand.
Is he going to?
I don't know. He's alive for now, but he's gonna need surgeries on his legs. And he may never walk again.
Ain't that the second deputy they've almost killed within the span of a week?
They killed Jones yesterday.
Jones was shot dead yesterday.
What do you mean,
Ethan Jones. Deputy Ethan Jones was killed.
Shit, okay. Damn.
As part of the gunfight that Masters had with him.
And well, considering how close you all came to bringing them in yesterday, it just goes to show they're not impervious to harm.
They fared a lot better than my group did. My group, we pulled them out of the force because I've never.
I thought they were about to say like Under Sheriff Jones or something. Under Sheriff
One
Jones.
way or the other at the force.
I don't think I knew Ethan Jones.
And we chased them out of Armadillo. They led us towards the canyon. They held up at the mouth of the canyon and had people go above us and start shooting at us from above. So we pulled back from the mouth of the canyon, tried to draw them out a little further. Oops, let's turn back around. I'm going right, turn around. So we were trying to pull them out away from the mouth of the canyon, try to push up towards the platform where you can walk up to deal with the people who were shooting down at us. They just ended up all pushing out at us simultaneously, and they just ended with all of ours on the ground in that situation with Bohannon.
this is all very reminiscent of what I used to experience from them back, you know, a while ago. The more...
Yeah, they're a very dangerous group.
The more where they feel like they're at the end of their rope, and the more desperate and violent they'll get.
Well, for Cheddar to do that, somebody who I've always considered to stick to his word, and I would have trusted on any deal, for him to do what he did to Walker yesterday, yeah, there's clearly, he was at the end of his rope for desperation.
I was gonna shoot him twice as hard.
Last time I brought Cheddar into Suzuka, he was talking about how they probably won't let him out the next time. Or they'll let him out, but only to be executed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the guards have been saying things like that to him, but I think at this point, he's right there.
Oh, damn.
Cheddar's gonna be executed next time they catch him? Fuck. Far out, that's a meta drop right there.
That poor lady in that punch, I never... Is that Winnie or Winston? Are they the same fucking
Winston.
person? Oh, that lady didn't have a single goddamn what to do. I almost hate shooting her. I almost do. Oh, hell, she didn't know what to do. She like came over that hill.
I remember when there was a time you couldn't even go west without being picked up, executed, then dropped back off on the border. You remember that time, Lynn, with the Kettlemans?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel as bad as that, but it's getting awful damn close.
So they won $100,000, right?
I'm not sure. I know that they're gathering money so that they can leave.
Oh, hell no, I ain't gonna let them leave.
If they're lucky enough to be let out of Suzuka again after they're arrested, they do their time for what they've done, then they can leave. But not until then.
Yeah, I got my $100,000 right here.
If it were up to me, they're not going to be coming out of Suzuka.
Yeah, me and you both.
What?
Did you see that man behind us run to his horse and slip right at the edge? Right next to his horse?
Oh man, I'm tired.
I just saw a big group of medics.
We should have given that goddamn, what's his face? The doctor a badge.
Fletcher.
Yeah, we should have given him a badge.
For what, being at our meeting?
Yeah.
Emerson.
Eddie Emerson.
I'm
Is Emerson the one that slipped?
Yeah.
I'm checking my telegrams and going to bed. You'll have a good one.
Yeah, take care of that.
See ya. Yeah, we only logged on to check the senior meeting and attend that. But we do have some telegrams, might be worth looking at. I made this meeting sometime early. Ugh. That's why the stream title is Better Late Than Never, because we showed up like halfway through. I literally woke up and then logged onto my computer. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, it's senior votes. We voted on some seniors. We voted, I think our recent votes were for Mockerman and Beaumont, which we voted yes for. So that's probably that. Ah. Alright, well, we got the senior meeting done. Let's raid Righty. Righty should be doing something fun. Alright, go say good day to Righty. They should be doing some fun stuff. Probably some Dead End Gang. Go tune into Dead End Gang, see what they're up to. You'll take care, thank you for showing up. Thanks, Squeaks, take care.